This video introduces a concept that is fundamental to the physics of motion, and that concept is position. Essentially, position is where something is within the scenario of the physics problem or the physics situation. Now, you're immediately going to think, what does that even mean? Position, I know what that means. That's not a physics term. How's that science? And my answer is, of course you know what that means, and yes, it is science. But oftentimes we need to examine position in relationship to other things. And that's where it becomes kind of sciencey. And this is not a complicated concept, so don't be surprised and think you missed the point, because the point is it's pretty simple. So some people, after they understand what position is, they're like, I don't think I learned anything. You may not. But putting it into this context, putting position into the context of science, is sometimes it's like, if this thing is here and this thing is here, and then we have to define these positions, and we may define them relative to another place. In a meter stick, you may have an object that begins with a position, let's say here at 20, and sometime later on the position is somewhere else, let's say 50. So the position has changed. And so if you're talking about a meter stick, it makes sense to say that there's 20, here's 50, got it. Sometimes you'll say something is a certain distance from so you might say the ball is 20 centimeters away from the wall. So the position is relative to the wall. And then you may say the ball moves to a place where its position is 50 centimeters away from the wall. Again, the measure is relative to the wall. So when the measure is relative to the same thing, then we can use that information. And we're going to call this, and here's the sciencey thing, we're going to call this position 1, and we're going to call this position 2. I know that's kind of crazy, the first position, the second position. But the way we write that is with a subscript. Position might be considered initial and final. So it would be P sub I, P with a subscript I, position, and P with a subscript of 2, position, or F for final. So it would be position 1 or initial position, position 2 or final position. And using the subscripts allows us to talk about position, but know which of the 2 positions or 3 positions or 8 positions or 96 positions that we're talking about. So that's the thing about position. The sciencey part is that we use the variable P for position and talk about it in relative terms to the same thing. So you might think of it like this. I am 5 blocks from McDonald's. If I go 8 blocks further, I'm no longer 5 blocks from McDonald's, I'm 13 blocks from McDonald's. So my position is now 13 blocks from McDonald's, not 5 blocks from McDonald's. The next concept is going to follow very logically off of this, and that's displacement and distance, which is going to be the difference between the positions of 2 objects. So that's it for this video. Position, subscript I, subscript 1, that's where it starts. Subscript F or subscript 2, that's where it ends up, or that's the second place it is. And you could have position 3. You could have position 1, position 2, position 3, position 4, and 4 would be the final position, and 1 would be the initial position, and it can be very complicated. But it's all just different places relative to something. Next video will be about the displacement or the distance of something has actually traveled.